cover some news, and I got some quick updates here for you. First of all, a couple of interesting things, some developments going on here. Looks like COVID is loosening up. Um, we've got starting on December 1st, there will be no state limits on social gatherings and capacity limits in restaurants, bars, and gyms. So it looks like that, hopefully, that restaurant backup that we've all been suffering from is going to it's going to start to alleviate itself. And it looks like the arrivals are coming back. I mean, we're just about where we were pre-pandemic, so everyone was kind of freaking out and afraid if we weren't going to make it or not during the pandemic period. They weren't sure about, for example, how quickly the industry was going to bounce back. Looks like it's bouncing back pretty solidly. We're only like a 15% down from pre-pandemic pandemic times. There's an interesting thing going on in Maui. I want to get Heidi's feedback on this when it's your turn, Heidi. But there's a Maui mayor recall. Apparently, there's a group that is apparently fighting back on Maui. They're upset with the mayor and his. And they cited that the mandates, transparency issues, or lack thereof, and there's a recall vote. So it happened last week. I don't know if the recall vote has come through or not, but I'd like to kind of hear Heidi to give us a quick update on that. And it looks like the Oahu hotel tax is going to be going up. So you're going to be paying. I think it's currently a 10% tax on hotel. Transient it's called a TAT, T-A-T, the transient accommodations tax. I believe it's at 10%, and there's going to be cranking up it's going to go up by 30%, which means they're going to add 3% to it. So it's going to be a 13% tax versus not. So if you're going to come to Oahu, do it now. You save yourself a few bucks on the hotel. And then finally, I want to get some feedback from Heidi on this one. Oprah Winfrey bought a 3-acre property. The interesting part about the 3-acre, she bought a 3-acre property on Maui. I think what was interesting is that she paid $7 million for it. But I think more interesting was that the record showed that the sellers, get this one, gang, the sellers purchased the people that sold it to her, bought that property in 1974. So here's what we'll do for this one. So here's the group. Here's the thing, gang. So I want everybody here, all of our audience. I want you all to put in the comments. I want you to take a guess at what those people bought that property for in 1974. What they bought the property for in 1974. So I'll repeat it again. So listen closely. It's a 3-acre property in Kula on Maui. You could use Google to research it if you could find it. That'd be kind of cool. But it's a 3-acre property on Kula in Kula on Maui. Oprah Winfrey bought that. It's 3 acres. Oprah Winfrey bought it for $7 million. So here's the question to guess. Guess what the sellers bought the property for in 1974, right? So y'all kind of put that one up there. I see. So Kinaya says 250K. The bids are coming in. So send them all in and we'll see who's, and we'll see who kind of wins the prize over there. All right, so they're all coming in. This is great. Okay, so we have a little bit of fun here today on our Aloha Friday. So look, let's go around while those things are coming in. Let's see who's. Let's first say hello to our friends here who are just joining us. Spencer, aloha from Kona, moved from New York City. Welcome, Spencer. We're glad you're here. Welcome to the Ohana. Banachan 888, aloha from New Jersey. Good to see you. I'm glad that you're here. Glad that you are joining us. Jim David over YouTube, aloha. And Bernard is back. Aloha from New Jersey, Bernard. Welcome. Good to see you back. Tom Kerr, who is an alumni of the Honor Ohana, has joined us. Oh, the bids are coming. This is great, gang. We're gonna have a lot of fun over here, and I'm really gonna curious. I'm not gonna put Heidi on the spot, so I'm just gonna have Heidi comment on that number. I don't expect Heidi to have that number because Heidi, neither you nor I nor Scott were here in 1974. Anyway, let's kind of go around and get some news here. Let's go counterclockwise if that could exist. Let's go Heidi and then Scott. Heidi, what's new in Maui, and if let's kind of blend this one together, kind of save some time. Let's talk about either real estate news or other news on Maui. So Heidi, feel free to give us a real estate update as well as a news update if you have some comments on that mirror story, but whatever you want to talk about as far as Maui goes. Heidi.
Sure. Well, as you mentioned, Peter, there was a campaign launched to recall Mayor Michael Victorino. My understanding is most of the people signing this petition are frustrated with the COVID-19 mandates, the vaccine mandates, not being able to allow kids to play sports or go see their kids play sports. And then there's also some other um, issues with things slowing down in terms of housing and water on Maui. So um, the last I have seen, they've turned in all the signatures, and the signatures are being reviewed. So it's to be seen what happens if they verify all the signatures. The mayor, my understanding, has 5 days to resign, and if he doesn't resign, then there's a vote. So we'll see what happens. It's always changing over here. But in lighter news, the first whales have been sighted off of Maui. So humpback whale season is kicking off. It's about November to May. We have humpback whales here. They come to Maui from Alaska to have their calves, and it's really fun to see them out there in the ocean. I just love this time of year.
Whale watches are so cool. I used to always, I still say that whales know something. Whales come to Hawaii for the winter, so they got something right. So whales are quite a bit smarter than we might think. A couple of folks have joined us. Alex, aloha from Visalia, California, and Christy from Reno, Nevada. Christy, I have my daughter lives in Reno, Nevada, so I love that place. It's a great town. And Patrick is back. Welcome back, Patrick. Good to see you, buddy. From Raleigh, North Carolina. Scott, give us the what's the Oahu update? What's going on Oahu real estate? Oh, Heidi, by the way, I'm sorry, before we go on, is there anything that you want to report about real estate in Hawaii? Any kind of an update that's notable? That's not like the market's crazy and everyone's buying and prices are going up.
Well, buyer demand is still really strong here, and inventory is low. I mean, the story continues. I mean, the number of new listings coming on the market is similar to where we were in 2019, but the difference is things are selling at a much faster pace. There are not as many sales happening as we had a really big spike in the spring, this spring 2021, because I mean, coming out of COVID. So not as many sales are happening as then, but it's just, you know, the market the market keeps on going. Um, so yeah, I mean, I looked at what's for sale. There's 131 condos in Maui County and about 167 homes and 131 parcels of land right now.
Wow, that is amazing. Joan asked, "Can we see the whales on Oahu?" Yes, Joan, you can. Actually, Joan, I was thinking about this. We're going to have a Islander Ohana meetup, and we're going to do the Makapu'u Lighthouse hike, which is like the best hike on the island, and it's perfectly suited for whales. So the Makapu'u Lighthouse hike is the place. And Joan, yes, you can see whales on Oahu. Whales are also smart. They visit all the islands. They go to Maui. They go to Oahu. They know where to go. Hey, so look, let's before we move on to you, Scott, I want to announce the winner of the contest. Y'all had a bunch. Y'all saw the guesses. I was flipping them on the screen over there. The winner is Bernard. Bernard at 75K. The actual number that they bought the property for, the 4-acre Kula Maui property in 1974 was for. Oh wait, no, I got it wrong. It's not Bernard. No, it might be Jim David got it. Jim David got it. The price, $50,000. So quite a deal. If you had the foresight, probably I'm going to guess in 1974. Here's my guess. My guess, and Heidi, you could confirm or deny this, but my guess would be in 1974. Someone said, "Why on earth? Why on earth would anyone ever pay $50,000 for 4 acres? That's insane. That is an insane price. You got to be out of your mind." That's my guess. That's my guess in 1974. But today, so those folks made out pretty good. God bless them. They made out pretty good. Bought it for 50K, sold to Oprah Winfrey for 4 million. And congratulations to Jim David for the right guess. Did you think that? So, folks, those of you that we had them like all over the map. Some folks like Jessica had 189, Patrick had 100. All good guesses. I mean, I would even know what to guess. Christy had 5K. So interesting. What do you think about the number about 50K? Does that sound right? So did you? Oh my God, Auntie Joyce, did I miss you? Did she hit it right? Oh my God, did I? Hold on a second. Oh, so Auntie Joyce, forgive me. You had it first. I was scrolling from the bottom up of the comments in my haste to get the right number. So Auntie Joyce had it correct. The first one who had it right. Very, very good. You had it right. Thank you for pointing it out to me.
I just want
Excellent.
to comment, even if they paid 100K for it, would it be worth it to sell it for 7 million?
Right? I mean, it's unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. So yeah, 7 million, buy it for 50, or buy it for 100. I mean, geez. But again, it is 1974, right? This is 1974. So we're talking how many years of that? That's a lot of years. 40 years, almost 40 years. So it's 40 years of appreciation. Um, I'm sure Oahu homes were super cheap 40 years ago, I'm sure. Anyway, okay, long-winded answer. Thanks, everyone. I'm so glad you all participated. This is making me think we need to start doing some contests and some giveaways. I got to figure out how we're going to do that. And then when we do the giveaways, I'm going to give Auntie Joyce her just due on giveaway. Scott, okay, long-winded. Scott, we're having some fun. What's up on Oahu? What's the news? Or anything you want to share real estate-wise? Anything you want to share news-wise? What's happening on Oahu?
Yeah, I go back to thinking about the whales. I'll never forget this. It was probably my first or second Thanksgiving here. This was almost 22 years ago. My family and we used to sit out on the beach on these picnic tables in front of our house in Puako. And Puako drops off literally thousands of feet deep, not even a half mile out from shore. And we're sitting there. We had everybody over from the restaurants and stuff. And we're huddled around these tables having Thanksgiving dinner, late afternoon. And we see a couple of whales with a baby and whatnot right off there. It was an early season for whales at that point, and we saw it, and I'll never forget it to this day. And it wasn't far off the reef. It was the most amazing experience, and I'll never forget that, going back to one of my early Thanksgivings here. But as far as news-wise, we got Triple Crown of Surfing is it's holding its holding period right now. So North Shore Surf's up, and we should be getting some big waves. When I moved over here in 2005, I went to the Eddie Aikau for my first time. They had it, and I was standing up. You had to park 2 miles away from Waimea Bay on the side of the road. Walked out there. We're perched up above above Waimea, looking at it, and these little ants are dropping in on these 50-foot waves, and it was the most insane thing I had ever seen. And probably 10,000 people in the area watching this. So the Triple Crown of Surfing is holding our holding period. So the North Shore Surf is here, and it's pumping and ready to go. So I'm excited for that.
Good story. Scott, to pile on to your surf stories. I have two surf Triple Crown kind of surfing things that I will never forget. And the first one was the first winter I had moved here, which was 1984. I went to go see the Pipeline Masters, and it was one of these perfect, insane Pipeline Masters kind of days. And I was right there, and pipe breaks pretty close to the shore, so it was really, really cool. And this was in '84. This was before the thing has become what it is now. Now it's like the Super Bowl. Back then, you could actually find parking. You could actually find parking and walk there and find a place to sit on the beach. You can't even get anywhere near it these days. So that was an incredible moment. And then maybe about 8 years later, I want to say 92, 93. I forget exactly when, there was an Eddie Aikau. Now, folks, the Eddie Aikau Invitational happens at Waimea Bay, and it only happens under what they call perfect conditions. So it's very rare. It does not happen every year. It only happens when Waimea Bay has like the absolute perfect condition in terms of it's got to be giant and rideable and offshore, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's very rare. And Scott, this was like 92, 93. And again, this was before it became like super popular. And I walked out. There's normally everyone kind of gathers up on Waimea Bay, the beach, and they watch from the beach. But back then there was a access through a property that was undeveloped that you could walk through and walk out to the point. So I walked out to the point, all the way out on the point, and Scott, it breaks right there on the point. And they weren't little ants, they were like life size. So it was just unbelievable to see these 50-foot high waves breaking kind of like right in front of you, basically, is what it felt like. And that was just a remarkable experience. I'll never forget that.